Miley, if you're watching this, Jeff misses you.
I'm still here.
He's
I'm still here.
You don't see everything. You see the whole thing. You gotta kind of like.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I can't see you.
I'll double check our heads are in frame, but yeah.
Hooter.
Take you out.
Start with the Charlie horse there. Coach. Coach.
It's cool. It's cool.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, what is up? Today I am here with two very beautiful men. On my left, your right, we have Mario Adrion, a successful
Versace model.
Versace model, international fashion model,
Pimp.
vlogger, comedian,
Sugar daddy.
sugar daddy, and recently something really cool, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And then on this side we have Jeff. And
That's it. That's my intro. Over here, that's what's your name, Jeff. Oh. Good to be here.
We have Jeff, also successful model in his own right, a little bit more commercial than Mario, who went more the fashion route. Also vlogger.
You mean I make more money than him? That's what commercial versus high
You
fashion.
mean you do the boring ass e-commerce jobs that are just like.
Yeah.
Two very different worlds between fashion and commercial, and then also some other stuff that we're going to get into as well. But before I'm going to do this a little bit reverse. Normally we kind of start with like the past of how people got to where they are and then get to the future. But I kind of want to get into like right now, because right now we're all here together for like a very specific reason, right? Because Mario's working on a music video.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my marriage. Okay. Okay. I'm talking about the music video. Yes.
Yeah, so why don't you tell people a little bit about the music video, what it's about, why you're here?
Guys, I'm gonna be a singer now because as a model I was always being put in a box, you know what I mean? Like people have like stereotypes about models. People think models cannot have talent outside of just being ridiculously good looking. And I'm gonna prove to the world it's not true.
Half the time it's true.
Half the time it's true, but not in my case, right? And that's why I want to show people that I can become a singer, and I'm going to be on American Idol, a very big show on ABC in the United States of America.
Yeah, February 14th.
February 14th, Valentine's Day, you can see me, pecked bound in front of Katy Perry and serenade her with my golden voice, you know? And that's why I'm here with Riley. We're shooting a music video with also Jeff, you know what I mean?
That's going to be the music video.
And this guy, Jeff.
Well, actually, very interesting. Jeff, this is not your first music video, is it?
It is not.
It is not.
No, I actually got my start modeling in my career doing a music video with Carrie Underwood. He probably doesn't know her because he's from Germany.
Yeah.
But you know her, right?
I do know Carrie Underwood.
And, we kind of had a fling for a summer there. It was right before she got married.
Nice.
And, we had a nice little makeout session.
That's
There might have
beautiful.
been a little more involved, but, I don't want to call her out like that.
Well, now recently you also featured on what's it, Mario Adrion's new single, Bro Job. Yeah, you were also
Honored.
featured
Honored
on
to.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Is that what you were referencing?
No, I was actually referring to Carrie Underwood. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So and Miss,
My boy.
I might be wrong on this. I might be completely uncultured. Carrie Underwood, didn't she win? Wasn't she the first American Idol?
She was one of the first.
One of the
sure.
first ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was she before or after Kelly? She might have been before Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but she was in American Idol, so it's kind of an interesting little connection here.
Look at that. Like all these.
Nice.
And now we're here.
Now I'm back. Yeah.
We're here.
Yes.
So yeah, we're kind of in here shooting music videos, doing doing hot boy things, and
That's it.
we've all kind of taken very different routes to get to modeling. Of course, you guys have had more commercial and fashion modeling success than I myself. I'm still a little bit at the beginner level here, but Mario, why don't you tell people kind of like how you got started in the modeling world? And
Yeah, so I got started from a small town in Germany, and then all of a sudden a modeling agent reached out to me on Facebook. I didn't I planned none of this. It was never my goal to become a model, but I just posted some photos on Facebook of me shirtless. Always helps, you know what I mean?
Always helps.
And then end up on some modeling forums on Facebook, and then some random modeling scout found me and was like, "Hey Mario, you should come to New York City to become a model." And I didn't know anybody in New York. Yeah, and I said this before, sometimes you gotta make these decisions that are kind of irrational, you know what I mean? So I didn't know anybody in New York. I have never been to New York. I was out of money. I didn't have any money, but spent the rest of my money just to fly to New York. and that's when I started. I got my first agency, and then I was traveling. Got an agency in Milan, got an agency in Singapore. I started modeling like Europe, Asia, and New York was always my home base as a model, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So takeaway is make sure that you post shirtless on Facebook.
That's it.
Because you never know where it's going to lead.
In life in
That's
general,
always
you never know what happens with that.
Yeah. And then Jeff, how did you kind of get started in the modeling world?
I had just graduated from university, and I was discovered in a mall in Nashville. I was walking through, and still this guy is my mother agent, they call it today, like my main agent. He was doing some sort of, it's called the Nashville Face, the Next Nashville Face. It was a contest. And he just pointed me out, and he goes, are you here for the contest? And I was like, no. And he goes, you want to be a model? I was like, sure. So I entered the contest and won, and he signed me to go out to Los Angeles. I signed with 4 models out there. And I got to be honest, like the first 2 or 3 years, I was the starving artist, this like struggling actor, struggling model. I was out there going to castings all around LA, not booking any of them, using MapQuest at the time to go around.
Damn.
Cattle calls, 200 people everywhere, didn't book anything. I left, I went back to Tennessee, and I was going to get a real job. And I started this real job as a sales job going door to door. And I had a client reach out to my agency, or my mother agent, and they offered me $2,000 a day to start. And I said, you know what? I'm over the modeling industry. I'm not doing it, guys. Thank you for the offer. But there was this guy, I think he was a guy, I'm assuming, that really wanted me to work for them. And so he just kept upping the offer until they got to $3,500 a day for 3 days. And I was like, you know what? This sales job ain't looking too good anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So I basically bailed on my sales job, and that got the ball rolling because I was able to get a little money in the bank, and then I was able to spread my wings. I went to Miami, back to LA, and yeah, I was able to get the ball rolling to where I got that consistent work, the consistent clients.
Yeah.
But I almost did not make it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's dope. Stick with it, right?
You know.
Who knows where you would have been if you hadn't done that.
Probably dead.
Jeff the salesman.
Can you imagine?
I really
I
can't.
asked myself that question, like, what would have happened if modeling had not happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was about to study chemistry in Germany. You know, I loved school. I did pretty well in school. And I was always like, had a lot of academic ambitions too. And I was like, yo, I might have been a doctor now. You know, I might have worked on the new COVID vaccine or something. You know. And now I'm here. Look at me now in my Versace robe.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. My 5 chest hair, Versace robe, you know?
Yo, that's coming in, bro.
It's coming in strong, bro, I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
You know.
Yeah, well, how many is that? Like, yeah,
Bro, at
you're
least
in the teens.
At least 25. I swear, it's at least 25.
Wow.
Weirdly enough, only on this side though.
Alpha male. I
Yeah.
like that.
It is.
Yeah, so I actually started, I was working at Microsoft, and my sort of career into modeling started very abruptly. It was just sort of like, abruptly and not abruptly. So I own a video production company in Seattle where we do like commercial videos and stuff. Cue the demo reel. So I was doing that for a while, and then we just sort of naturally started doing videos, like product videos, and then they started wanting photos with the products as well. So then it was like, okay, well, we can pay a model to, do these, or I can just model them, and we can pocket the extra, the extra cash. So then I started getting a little portfolio built up of me with like backpacks and wallets and like a lot of hand modeling stuff. Actually, is kind of how I got my first little portfolio built up.
You got nice hands, I gotta say.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's the veins.
Yeah.
So like if you go on Amazon, like there's a lot of like flashlights, lanterns, like outdoor stuff where like my hands are like the product photos.
Nice,
So
bro.
I started with these
Nice,
bad
good.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
they got some scars on them from MMA and boxing.
I could work with that.
And then it just kind of made sense where I was like, I actually started thinking about modeling after watching Mario's channel. So I was just on YouTube and going down the rabbit hole, and then I discovered Mario's channel, and at the time your channel was a lot more focused on sort of like modeling. And
Yeah.
like, aspiring
because
models?
I started YouTube mainly also because I wanted to kind of be a little bit more independent from modeling, you know, because modeling is I love it. It gets me to travel. It's fantastic, but it also is a little bit limited creatively. So I love that with social media I could like kind of tell my own story. And then of course a lot of people were always asking me, hey, how do you become a model? So I made videos about that, and that's how we met. Look at that.
Yeah, that's how we met.
We all met through the social medias. You know, without the social medias, we would not be here. You would be in Nashville, you know,
Maybe
like
a salesman.
feeding cows or something. You know what I mean?
That's fun though.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, I milked cows, man. When I was 10 or 8 years old, I was drinking out of cows.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Straight
I
up
swear to
drinking-
God, straight up out of the
cows.
YouTube.
Okay.
What's the thing called? The cow boob?
The udder.
The udder. I was drinking out of the udder.
You just, like.
I swear to God, man, because I was like, you know, I was young, I grew up in this one, you know, and I'm here with the Versace robe. I reference it a lot because it was the most expensive article of clothing I've ever bought. So I kind of want to, you know.
Yeah,
It's a Versace robe.
We did a social experiment here. We shot Jeff and Mario wearing speedos because Mario is German, and that's a very common thing in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And wanted to bring speedos, make speedos great again.
That's the goal. That's our mission in life. Yeah.
And so
my daddy was always wearing. My dad also was always wearing the speedos. You know, maybe you can show a picture here. I have a beautiful picture of my daddy. Dad, fuck, dude, is
I like daddy.
daddy? It's kind of weird.
Papa.
Papi.
And so I think what's really interesting is that there really is like a very polarizing difference between like the world of fashion and the world of like commercial modeling. There's a pay difference, there's a lifestyle difference.
For sure.
There's contractual differences. Like it's a little bit different. So Mario, you kind of went more through like runways and like high fashion and having to be like, I mean, there's like very strict measurements that you have to like hold yourself to. You have to be like really super skinny and tall and lanky and like.
It's stressful, man. It wasn't my favorite, to be honest. You know what I mean? I went to New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion. New York Fashion Week is actually fine, but Milan Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, I never tried because I was always too big. You know, I was like, your size probably good, but like if you have a little bit of pecs or something, I always had like stronger chest. They always told me to lose weight and stuff. You know, I think commercial modeling is a lot more sustainable. You know, because you can eat like when you go to a job or something, you get like the purple potatoes, you get the kale. You know, you get the nice food, you get like the chicken breast and all that stuff. I get the cocaine and cigarettes, you know what I mean? That's like the fashion thing, you know? It's all we eat, bro.
Yeah, I think the first video I ever watched of you was the your kind of like exposing Milan Fashion Week kind of video. And I remember like there was multiple models who were just like, I haven't had anything in 2 days. Like,
I
smoke
swear.
cigarettes.
I
to keep
swear.
the
They just like, you know, to get like dehydrated, to have like the crazy like cheekbones going on to fit the jackets and stuff, and it was so stressful. Like I went to the Versace casting multiple times also in Milan. Armani, Versace, and it's usually a request casting. So I went to Versace. I was actually invited exclusively. They picked me kind of like, and I was like, oh my god, they picked me, you know, first time. Walk up to the Versace casting. I swear to God, man, like it was the villa, you know, in Milan, the Versace villa, whatever. The freaking casting was like on the second floor. People were lining up all the way through the hallway, through the stairway or whatever, and then outside the door one time around the block. I was like, dude, this is a request casting. I thought I showed up, you know. Maybe they asked me, you know, if I want a tea or something, you know what I mean? Asked me if I want some aperitivo, maybe an espresso or something. Then I just walk in and, hey Mario, we've been waiting for you. So good to see you. They were just like, ciao, grazie mille, ciao. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll never see them again. Literally, bro. Like at some fashion week casting, like this the Armani one. I remember I walked in and there's like this woman, the casting director. I'm not gonna call her name, but actually maybe I could. Barbara, whatever. I was like, she's sitting there, right, and she's writing on her thing, and you walk in, and dude, I swear to God, she did not even look up. She like was on her thing writing something, and I like do the walk through the whole thing, you know, like do the walk in the whole room or something like that. She looks up once and goes like, and doesn't even say anything, and then the other, it's like, show some respect, you know. Sometimes fashion, they're a little bit, especially Milan though, they're a little bit like high fashion, they think they're the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why now I'm projecting, because I've suffered from that so much. That's why I now treat people like shit,
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Now we get it.
Real struggle.
Now we get it, right? And my wife gets to feel that sometimes, I'm sorry, but, we all have like some childhood trauma, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So a lot of stress, a lot of sort of cons, I guess, to the fashion world. What about like commercial? What are some of the stresses that you get as like a commercial model? Because you've also done like more kind of like influencer modeling too, right? With like Ignite and stuff like that. Yeah. Are there sort of downsides or pressures, contracts you have to fill, that kind of stuff?
I would say the downside of the commercial work is just that it's like a little bit mind numbing. It's a little bit robotic. Like one of my main clients, it was literally 4 shots: front, side, back. And even though it pays well, and I'm really thankful for my career, it's just you're talking about 8 hours of literally being a freaking model robot.
Yeah.
And that's the doubt. I love the influencer stuff though, because it's like you do your own thing. You're the creator, the producer, the director, and I love that. And I think that that's the future. But the good side about the commercial work is that it's consistent.
Totally.
As opposed to
high
fashion.
And I can also the pay for high fashion, even if you land like some fashion shows in Milan or something, they don't pay anything. Your agency, like even I think Armani is one of the best paying, pays like 700 euros. But out of that you get like, you have to go to casting, you have to go to fitting, like all the work that goes into it, because you go to like on average maybe 10-15 castings to get one job, right?
Yeah.
So like if you add that up, people think like, oh my god, you get one job, you get like 700. It's nothing, considering also you have to like go to your agency, take Polaroids. Like there's so much work that goes into it, all the like cigarettes and cocaine you have to buy to like become skinny for that job, for the casting. And then also the agencies take a huge cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like in Milan usually with taxes it ends up being like 40% that's taken out, or 45% depending on your agency. So commercial work is definitely better. I had a shift actually in my modeling career. I started off because I had the gap year, I started off doing more like high fashion modeling with all the runway shows in Milan and stuff. Well, I mean, I went there. I didn't do all of them. That's the problem. I did some each year, but like it was never enough to actually cover my expenses there. And then went to New York, and then my agent shifted. And they were like, "Hey, Mario, grow your hair out, become a little bit more muscular, like more naturally handsome looking." And then all of a sudden, I started booking more jobs and made way more money. Like no comparison. Before I would do like a campaign here and there. In Singapore, I did some bigger campaigns for fashion stuff, and they would pay well, like whatever, a couple $1,000s, like like 6,000 was like one of the best ones in Asia, but like it can be like 1 month, it can be like that, but then you have no campaigns for 2 months, right? So in New York, I had Bloomingdale's, I had Amazon, so they're consistent clients to like
Yeah, I would say to like the average person, like the average like social media consumer, I think it's almost more impressive to have like a Milan Fashion Week appearance than like a commercial appearance.
Sure. I mean, depends if you want the recognition or the whatever, the validation and fame that comes from it, or if you actually want to make money. Because if you want to make money, fashion is like, it's also so fleeting. Some looks are in for like a season or two. That dyed blonde hair look was in, or like the blonde hair with the shaved head was in for like 1-2 seasons. But then they kind of, or the red hair or something, and now it becomes very ethnic. So like Koreans, black models are killing it right now, Yeah. So it changes every season. And with fashion, it's a really short-lived career. You don't really, Yeah. But look at this guy here. He's been like consistent, like a freaking
killing it.
I
Exactly. Saw that there was an appearance that you made in a particular television show at one point in time.
Ah, my boy did some good research on me. Hannah Montana.
That
was that quick love interest there. What happened was I spotted Miley Cyrus on the beach with some binoculars, and then we came up and had a quick moment. I can't even remember my exact lines in that. What was funny though is that I don't think they knew the age difference. So it was a little interesting, the love interest there. But man, I am flattered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Really like you. Come here.
Thank you. So how did you get that appearance on Animal? Was that just through an agency, or was that and did they like specifically request you, or did you have to show up for like a casting, or?
Yeah, I went to a casting when I was living out in LA. I think that was quite a while ago. That was when I first moved there, and I was pretty unsuccessful as a model. But I did land a few commercial gigs, which were really nice. And this was like the main kind of TV appearance that I booked. And I can't remember the casting, but it was definitely some sort of like kind of runway walk. You know, they were looking for a good looking dude. I'm not trying to say I am, but I never actually had any contact with Miley Cyrus after that, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe she's gonna watch this though.
Miley, if you're watching this, Jeff misses you.
I'm still here.
He's
I'm still here. Call me.
So now it's interesting seeing kind of the commercial shift in a lot of ways on social media for modeling, for just kind of people who are conventionally attractive, but also not, and they find their niches is OnlyFans. And both of you have kind of gone, even though you've taken a little bit different routes, you've gone through like fashion, you've gone through commercial. Mario shifted a little bit back into commercial too, but now like kind of both of you are pushing OnlyFans as platforms. What do you find, starting with Mario, like what do you find interesting about OnlyFans? What is it that kind of drew you to it, like as a platform?
OnlyFans, first of all, it like unlike every other platform out there right now, has no censorship. Like you can literally do and like express yourself in whatever way you want, as opposed to TikTok, which just got deleted for me 2 days ago, which I still don't know exactly why. It was not very trans. It's fine, guys, it's fine.
He only cried twice.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But like what I'm saying is OnlyFans, it gives me a chance to like literally connect with my audience without having to worry about thumbnails or titles that will stay monetized, so will still be picked up by the algorithm on YouTube, because YouTube wants family-friendly content. But I don't want to make like freaking, I don't want to make slime videos like we talked about,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, dude. That's like what's popping in YouTube. I don't want to fill my pool with like 1 million Orbeez or something like that,
Yeah.
And I'm all, I love expressing myself also in a more erotic way, you know what I mean? Because that's what I've been doing as a fashion designer. I've done a lot of underwear modeling, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I love that about OnlyFans, connecting with my platform, with people who actually want to support me, and I can directly also get support from them financially, which has helped me to, make the content I want. I made the music video, and it was very expensive. I funded that like partly because of OnlyFans, you know what I mean? Yeah. If I just did YouTube videos already monetized, I wouldn't be able to create the content I want to create, or also like hire some more people or make really expensive music videos. So yeah.
I mean, Mario's done some different like kinds of merch releases before. He's had like carrot merch back when you had your kind of carrot phase, and then he even had a shirt that said demonetized on it. That was like literally part of a merch.
New model for it too. So with YouTube I can make a decent living for sure. OnlyFans just really took it to a new level, you know what I mean? And just gives me more freedom and more balance in my life, like we talk about with Reno too. It's just,
Yes, like an uncensored platform and like an ability to kind of just like do what you want and be yourself on OnlyFans.
Yes.
Jeff, what about you? What kind of drew you to OnlyFans?
Pretty similar to Mario. It's really the only one that's not, they censor a little bit, right? But not for the most part. And, I kind of built my following on Instagram. My biggest clients for modeling were pretty much underwear clients. So my fan base saw me doing all this underwear, on the internet. And let's be honest, for the most part, OnlyFans is sexy content.
Yeah.
And where could I do sexy content? You could do it on Instagram, but, it's kind of a gray area.
Yeah.
You can't do it on TikTok, as we learned.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
It's fine.
So, YouTube is kind of iffy. They do monetize everything, right? And OnlyFans was just like one day it went, this is me. I need to be on this.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. You have the full freedom to do whatever you want to create. It's amazing. You guys should totally check out our pages.
Oh yeah.
Swap.
So, yeah, links will be
Let's
down below.
give them a preview real quick. Okay.
You stop.
Sorry.
Well, because this is going to be on YouTube, so now we can't even show. That's like a good example, right? This is on YouTube, so we can't even show a good preview of what somebody could find on your OnlyFans.
If you want to find out, you got to subscribe to this page.
You got to click the links down below. That's the only way for you to find out. I like that it's almost like a natural continuation of sort of both of your careers too. Like you're doing underwear modeling, and like where else can you really do it? Twitter, I guess, but like
And sometimes on Instagram, but sometimes Instagram will come back a year later and delete it and then give you a warning. You're like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Like a year later? How do I manage this? You know?
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a good continuation for you. It's a good continuation for your career because you kind of have gotten like more and more. Like even back in the beginning when I first started watching your videos a couple years ago, it was very. You were always talking about wanting to be like the realest YouTuber out there, right?
Yeah.
And your content's gotten kind of more and more to the point of you just kind of being like, I'm just gonna like say what I want to say and
Yeah,
and not
totally.
not throw labels on anything and like you even have like a second channel for more kind of like your just uncensored raw talks where
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
even
yeah.
worrying about like like the YouTube algorithm and stuff like
Totally,
that.
totally. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a good natural continuation of what you guys have been doing, which is really cool. We talked a lot about like I feel like the negatives of the high fashion world. What are some of the positives for high fashion?
Oh, the
for
positives?
runways and stuff like that.
I mean, the best part about high fashion modeling is just
The Versace robe.
the Versace robe. Exactly.
Best part.
That's it. That's all I gotta say about this. No, I gotta say, I mean, honestly, just the lifestyle is incredible. You know, even though it's stressful, you go to castings, you meet people. The shoots I've done for like magazines, even though they don't pay anything. You know, I've done like some like great magazines in also in Asia and whatever, like big editorials with like a team of people where we went and shot with like a tiger and stuff like that, like crazy shoots where you just travel and meet cool people and have fun projects, as opposed to commercial modeling where it's usually kind of predictable and it's the same. It's like
Right.
I think commercial modeling is like the closest thing you get to a 9-to-5 job, you know, in modeling, whereas like high fashion modeling is more like just project based, a little bit more unstable. It's like a freelancer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the shoots I've done and the people I've met in the modeling industry, amazing. Some of my best friends to this day are people I've met in the fashion industry, like other photographers, models, casting directors, stylists, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. And then what about you? What are some of your like favorite parts of commercial modeling?
I mean, he pretty much nailed everything on the head, but you don't. I mean, the biggest thing is that you're not working that 9 to 5, you know, and you are your own boss. You do travel around the world. You get to meet a lot of cool people.
A lot of pretty people.
A lot of pretty people. And I would say this, you know, I prefer the influencing now, but I would have never have been an influencer had I not started modeling. So it was an easy transition into the modeling. I mean, into the influencing world.
Yeah.
From the modeling, and overwhelmingly, super positive experience for me. Overwhelmingly. So
Yeah.
I hope I didn't sound negative.
No, not at all.
But I think that's the case for most people, that like modeling is not so much the end goal, but it's more of a stepping stone into something else, you know, whether it be acting, whether it be social media, you know what I mean? For me, it's what got me out to the United States, you know? I got my visa for the United States because of modeling. Without that, I would have had the chance to come here as easily, you know what I mean? So,
How about you, big guy?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like modeling is generally a like a stepping stone for people. Like I feel like acting is like a really common stepping. Like people kind of go from like modeling to acting.
Yeah.
For me, I've always wanted to do my own content. You know, like YouTube videos and being able to create my own sort of influence lifestyle, really, where I'm kind of having like more freedom over what it is that I'm creating. Especially like owning a video production company in Seattle and having worked for myself ever since, like, I mean, I used to work at Microsoft and I was in a cubicle all day, like, and then one day I literally was just there 6 p.m. at night typing, and all of a sudden I was just like, it just stopped mid-sentence. I was just like, no, this isn't me. Like, it's not. It's cool. I mean, it was fun in its own way. I had lots of parts that I enjoyed about being in like the sort of office and like IT space.
Yeah.
Project management. I like data a lot, but it just wasn't for me. You know, it wasn't something that I was like 5 years from now, if I was continuing to do this, that I'm going to look back and be like, this was like a well spent 5 years that I couldn't have spent better any other way.
It's about experience after all, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's very like experience rich or dense life you live as a model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, let's see. As sort of like a final question, Mario, if you had to give 3 tips, 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
3 tips to an aspiring model or vlogger. You can kind of pick your career. Somebody who wants to get into the modeling world or the vlogging space and create content that's real. What would sort of be your like advice to them?
Okay. So first of all, don't take rejection personally. Because like rejection is such a like common thing, whether it comes to social media or modeling. You know, a lot of times we have this like what's called this performance approach as opposed to a mastery approach, right? Where you think about, you make a YouTube video and you think if it doesn't get enough views, then you take it personal and you think, oh, something's wrong with me. I'm not worthy of love because I'm gonna as many likes or views. Same with modeling, but it depends on. It depends so much on luck as well. So just like don't let it get to you, because rejection is such a big part of modeling. If you can't deal with rejection well, maybe just like question your career choice a little bit. You know. Then number 2 as a model, use social media. Have that as a backup, because even if, you cannot be in control as a model. That's like the number 1 downside, I would say. You know what I mean? Because you always depend on other people to book you. But with social media, you can actually create something that will facilitate things in the modeling world as well. And same for like, obviously it's going to help, because I think the future of modeling is also more leaning towards social media. Like a lot of big campaigns are not booked by traditionally good-looking models. A lot of these spots are taken now by influencers. You know, if you look at Dolce & Gabbana, books like the biggest TikTokers and Instagram people each year for their campaigns now. So it's definitely gonna shift even more. And then the third one, let me think about that one.
All right, so unfortunately my camera timed out at the 30-minute mark. I kind of forgot that my camera does that, and so I missed out on the last little bit here. But I can tell you, Mario's 3 tips were: don't take rejection personally, use your social media, and to embrace your uniqueness, right? Because he had the gap in his teeth, and once he embraced it, it was something that actually became a selling point. And Jeff's 3 tips were: number 1, to make sure also that you use social media, that you leverage the tools you have available to you. Number 2, don't rely solely on an agency, because an agency isn't going to be able to book you all the time, and you need to make sure that you are, again, using your social media, using your networking skills, using your own abilities to help book your own shoots, right? Because you're your best advocate. And tip number 3, start an OnlyFans. No, I mean, that wasn't necessarily step number 3, but it was basically, you know, utilize your assets that you have available to you. So amazing tips, really great conversation. I wish that they were here right now for the outro. I didn't realize this was how it was going to end, but thank you all so much for watching. I would love to do a one-on-one video with these guys in the future, so if you would like, first of all, go ahead and click down below. That's where their channels are linked if you want to watch any of their videos. But if you want a one-on-one video with one of them in the future, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know who you'd like me to bring back. And if you have any questions for them, drop them so that I have some good ammunition to use on them later. Thank you so much for watching this. Love you all so much. Really appreciate where I am in life right now, and just wanted to say that I'm eternally grateful. So I hope you're all having a wonderful time, and I will see you lovelies on the next video. I'll never forget this day.